1 2 1 2. Check, 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 yeah. 1 2 1 2. How's it going? How's it going, everyone? Good morning to you. The time is 5:17 in the morning. That's E17 in the morning. Monday, the 30th of January. And let me just turn this music back a little bit more. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's it, that'd do, just in the background. Yeah, so was just looking through the news today and seeing kind of, where they're going next with all of this. Yeah, they're still at it, these lot. They're still at it. Let me move over to the other screen. And all of the news that's about now is all saying ex-royal aide says trying to reopen deal with Virginia Giuffre won't help Prince Andrew. So you can see that it's all being built up in a way where don't even bother Andrew, stuff here. Look, Prince Andrew plans to reverse agreement with his accuser. The thing that I'm most interested in is new evidence shows Prince Andrew and Virginia Giuffre photo is real. Now, when is the coronation? 6th of May? 6th of May. So what are we now? 30th of January. So we've got February, March, April, and then we're into May. So we got just over 3 months. So I would say that 3 months backwards and forwards now, messing us around with, it looks like the picture could be real, just at a moment when Andrew is talking about, going back in and overturning this whole thing now. And then, the mainstream would be building it up as if to say, like, the guy's stupid to even revisit his US sex abuse case. Prince Andrew evicted from Buckingham Palace by King Charles. It's all looking like it's coming on top for him, and why would he want to put us all through this again? But as I said, this is all going to be sorted by the time of Charles's coronation, because that is the plan. There can be no other plan, can there, really, if you think about it? So everything that we're getting here now is all of the hype that is going to lead up to that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the music right down for a minute, because I want to play a video. Now, I'm hoping that the sound's going to come through.
Now, though, Ghislaine Maxwell has been speaking from prison in Florida for the first time since she began her 20-year sentence. In an interview broadcast last night, she talked about everything, from that infamous Prince Andrew photograph to Epstein himself. Well, joining me now is Lady Victoria Hervey, a former girlfriend of Prince Andrew, who also knew Ghislaine Maxwell.
So what we want to do here is just this is from about 5 days ago, I think, this video. This went up on Lorraine 5 days ago, and it's had 71k views. So let's see 5 days ago what they're exactly saying or getting her to say is the real deal with the official version of what they're pushing out about this photograph now, at this time now.
Alongside US lawyer Dr. Anne Olivarius. Thank you both for joining me this morning. And Victoria,
hello.
He's always denied all of these allegations all the way along. So why on earth did he pay it off? Why do you think he paid it off?
I mean, in my opinion, well, from what I know, he didn't have a choice. He was forced to not. He basically didn't get his day in court and was not allowed to fight.
That's
who would
rubbish.
Have forced him most? Someone like him, from what we know of his character, who would have actually had the power to say to him, "You're not doing this"?
These are producers' reactions to the samples in the producer growth kit.
Fuck off.
Well, who do you think?
I don't know.
Buckingham Palace.
That's
Yeah,
it.
you
Blame
think-
it
you
on the
think
Queen.
come from
I
them?
do. I think
I
it
mean,
would.
Andrew was Buckingham Palace, you know what I mean? He still is. All this, he's been thrown out and all that. This is just making it look good because he's going back in again on trying to overturn this claim, which has all been planned for a very, very long time. It's just they're going to coordinate it all leading up to the coronation. And I bet you any money Harry's there as well. Yeah, because that's just another diversion tactic. So let's carry on.
Was Buckingham Palace put the pressure on him, and he basically was not allowed to fight it.
But surely he would know the consequences of doing this, of settling.
That's a lie.
He must have known that what would happen, he would be ousted from the royal family. You know, he would be a pariah. He would never be able to get back in again.
Well, actually, I think that as far as that, the titles were supposed to be given back to him. They were never, officially going to be taken away. It was only briefly going to be taken away while it was going to be fought when he was going to be a private citizen in court.
But hang on a minute, he was never going to be a private citizen in court because Buckingham Palace wasn't going to let him. So there's one contradiction there straight away.
Now, this notorious photograph that we've seen of Prince Andrew and Virginia Giuffre, and we can see Ghislaine Maxwell in the background there, she says it's a fake. Yeah. He says he doesn't remember it being taken, and he also said in that notorious interview as well, he said, I've no recollection of that, but he never said it's a fake. And if it was a fake, why has he not said this long before?
Well, I don't think he was allowed to say it was a fake because otherwise, he could have had Virginia possibly come after him without having enough.
No, it would have been too early to say it's a fake. They need it to all turn around now.
Proof that it is a fake.
That's the thing, isn't it?
And if you think about it, this has got to be sorted a month up front prior to the coronation because they've got to start sort of bigging Andrew up again. They're going to need a month to do that. So we're going to start seeing this turnaround happening over this next period of the next 2 months.
How do we prove? Because this is back in 2001, isn't it? Yeah. When things like photoshopping were in their infancy, and surely we would be able to tell whether or not that's been photoshopped. So many people have looked at it. But
exactly.
Do we know who the original is?
Yeah, I mean, I have, I've been in contact with...
See, look at what they've done to the photograph there. Can you see? Look down the side of her now. It's not that shadow's not as prominent in this picture when they blur it up, is it? See that drop shadow down the right of Virginia's side? Yeah.
The person who I believe is the real person that took the pictures at Kennington Street.
Right, hold on. The real person that took the pictures at Kennington Street. And
he's told me exactly how it was done and that he was involved in actually doing the photoshopping.
Let me just very quickly...
she's moved on there. So there was photoshopping involved, right? But this whole story that she's coming up with is bungle.
Ask Anne, because Anne, has he got any chance at all, thank you for talking to us this morning, any chance at all of overturning this, of perhaps going to a trial, of perhaps getting the money back? Is it at all legally, possible for him to do that?
Right, can you see the way now Lorraine is acting and talking this question up, which has been well rehearsed? And this woman now is going to say, it's going to take, something special to overturn it, like fraud or something like that. And that is what I said to you, that Virginia's always going to get done for.
Look, our firm and I have handled hundreds, if not thousands, of cases of sexual assault, trafficking. And I can tell you when these settlements are agreed in New York, it's really hard, virtually impossible to overturn something. There has to be evidence of fraud. But of course, the settlement in this matter was not because of the photograph. That was never a part of it. Sure, the photograph has been part of a PR campaign. And
right, you heard her say it there. The photograph has been part of a PR campaign, right? They are telling the truth within what they say.
It has ruined his image. It's digital proof that he actually knew, Virginia Giuffre. That's true. But the settlement, unlike what Lady Victoria has said, with respect, he was involved in this litigation for over a year. He had excellent counsel, and it's one of these stories, again, where we see so often a wealthy man accused. He says, well, I didn't do it. He fights for over a year with really excellent counsel. They make decisions, right or wrong, they make decisions. He had a choice then to settle up right at the beginning before a big public brouhaha had happened, and he didn't do that. And he only settled.
Yeah, because this only backs the narrative. Well, Andrew wanted to fight it. It was the palace that made him settle.
Because he gave that Emily Matlas interview, it was shown that he's really an arrogant and a man who just cannot accept any criticism of himself.
Right, see, all of this now, like they're talking him up in this way like it's a done deal. And this is part of the magic trick, because this is going to miraculously turn around, right? And it's going to happen before the coronation. So all of this, what they're doing now is just speak. It's just talk, and it's making you, it is steering you how to think about this situation. Is there any way he can get out of it? No, he can't get out of it. It's a done deal, and, but the only thing that can turn it around, sorry, that's my stomach gurgling now, I've just had a coffee. The only thing that can turn it around is proof of fraud. And when Virginia gets made out to be a liar and getting a friend to Photoshop a photograph, it hasn't come from Virginia. This is all intelligence services that have been running this since 2011.
He told stories that cannot be vindicated about the Pizza Express, where he was that night, allegedly, with his children. And of course, this whole thing about being in, the Falklands and being a hero and then suffering afterwards, deeply suffering and not being able to sweat, which medically has been challenged. And his lawyers knew that he was coming up to a deposition in the United States.
All this other stuff about sweating and everything else that they're saying there about being in the Falklands and all of this ain't going to matter. All that is going to matter is, yeah, he didn't do it. The pictures are fake. We're really sorry, Andrew.
And in the deposition, you have to answer questions, or the judge intervenes, or you're found in contempt. And so he'd have to answer questions about his lifestyle, about the gang of men he hanged around with. I mean, he's got lots of pictures with Epstein. Those are much more powerful to me than the one with...
Yeah, but Epstein's dead now, and you're not getting nothing out of the horse's mouth. So there's no point in going on about Epstein. I mean, to the public, he's dead. Whether he really is or not, we will never know. People like us will never know.
Virginia Giuffre. So, he had this deposition coming up. He was going to have to try to tell the truth. And he decided...
I'm pretty sure someone over there in the elite has thought of the plan. If I pretend to be dead and it all looks legitimate, no one will look for me no more. Yeah.
I better settle this case, because if I don't settle, I've got bigger problems.
Yeah.
So that's why it had nothing to do with the picture of Virginia Giuffre.
So the photograph really
See, the way they've pushed that photograph, they've made that thing so central to everything. Nah, it's just a PR stunt. Makes you laugh, doesn't it?
I mean, that she's just, she's talking very generally and everything. But as far as that, like, he was made to settle. He had no choice in the matter. And the picture is the only thing that Virginia has been using against him, trying to prove that they were even together. But it's not him. If you look at that picture behind, so I've actually been in this house.
Right, here we go.
And I've stood exactly where they're standing with the same furniture behind. There's the chest on the right-hand side. I don't know if you have a picture of that you can show up.
But things can change in a house.
The scale is completely different. No, actually, the picture I have, it's completely the same as what this is, with the same chest, and the scale is...
I told you they'd taken a picture of this before, didn't I? Yeah, it's all starting to marry up, see, because she's taken a picture like that, and they would have tested the light sources and everything to make it, quite believable for some time that this was a real photograph.
Totally different.
But we can talk about this picture, and we can talk and talk about it. At the end of the day, Virginia says this picture is
she
real.
says one thing, and now there's a couple of people saying, actually, no, Virginia...
But why wait till now, though, Victoria? That's the thing.
Because I think Personally, what I think, Ghislaine hasn't said something before because she was dealing with her own legal matters and she wasn't in a position to be able to say that. But if you actually read one of her depositions, she actually says in the original deposition that she does not believe that this picture is real.
But do you think, I mean, we're putting an awful lot of emphasis
Fucking bollocks, isn't it?
on this photograph. At the end of the day, you know,
at the end of the day, he says,
he paid money to make this go away.
at the end of the day, he says he's
Yeah, because he's too honourable, isn't he?
never met her, and he's always stood by that. And if you look at everything, even
Right, so if he's always stood by that, he can't turn around and get made out to be a liar, so he's got to stand by that. I've never met her. The picture's going to turn out to be fake, even though in the news they are pushing the opposite narrative at the minute and getting some people to say, yeah, I'm the one that done the photograph and it's real. I'll show you that in a minute.
even when they did settle, he still said, you know,
Clean My Mac. It has been a trusted app for more than 12 years since its launch.
he didn't apologise because why would he apologise?
That's the bizarre thing, though. But and the thing about it
and
is,
at the end of the day,
you must admit he made a massive, colossal error by doing that interview and the way he came across in that interview. Is that the man
well,
you know?
he's not media trained. You see, this is the
Well,
problem.
he's been doing that job for years.
Don't give me that. He's not media trained. The bollocks there.
He should be.
But the thing is, he was meant to look shabby in that interview. This is what I'm saying to you. He was meant to come across shabby. They even left his tie sort of to one side. You know, they wouldn't do that normally. You know, he was meant to look like he's all over the place. It was part of it. It was part of the costume that day.
He's not, though, and he hasn't been media trained, and so that was a huge mistake.
You don't need to be media trained to sit and have empathy with people who've gone through a terrible, terrible ordeal.
No, I know.
You know, I mean, there was no empathy. There was no, I'm sorry for the victims of this man. There was no him saying, I can't believe that I was friends with him.
He's just very factual. I think how he remembers things and the way he says things, it's more done in a factual kind of military style way, which is, you know, I agree, you know, the way it came out, the delivery was not what people wanted to hear. But actually, when you replay that whole interview, which I have a couple times,
Oh, I bet you have. I bet you have. They've gone over every single word of it to make sure it's all gone according to plan, because he won't get made wrong on nothing from that Newsnight interview.
The bit where it's obviously bad is where he doesn't, you know, say that he regrets knowing Jeffrey Epstein. That was where he messed up. But I think the rest of it actually isn't that bad.
Well, we might agree.
Because he's going to get made right on everything he said in that interview. I don't even remember taking that photograph. We don't know if that's my hand.
Sorry, Anne, you were wanting to come in there.
Yeah, I mean, I must say he messed up by associating with these people, with leading a life that gave him contact with a convicted sex trafficker, you know, and with Ghislaine Maxwell, a proven convicted felon and a liar. You know, why anybody would be interested in her view and that this allegedly, you know, is a false picture, I don't understand. And, you know, the whole notion that he was forced to settle is one more time that it's the mother's fault. The Queen forced him to settle. It goes back to mothers again. We're all at fault for what our boys do. It's extraordinary, and that he should still debate this. I think he's just digging a deeper hole and showing what a weak moral creature he is. Stand up if you're a military man, take the heat and deal with it.
Here we go. Here we go. This is the build up to Prince Andrew fights back.
Apologize. You know, he settled with a working class girl. I know that's really humiliating for him, that his behavior is what needs to be apologized for and corrected.
We'll need to leave it there. Thank you so much. He's always, as you said, denied these allegations. Of course, Virginia, you know, her claims are out there. The settlement was made. And thank you very much indeed for your...
I mean, for them to be doing all of this, there must have been a much, much, much bigger problem, you know, even within the Epstein thing there. I mean, let alone in this country with Ghislaine, in the red rooms. That's not a mistake. That's not a mistake. That's why you're not hearing about that in the mainstream. So let's have a look down some of these others here. This is all from today. So, ex-royal aide says trying to reopen the deal with Virginia Giuffre won't help Prince Andrew. Right, and remember, this is all in the lead up now to the coronation of Prince Charles. Prince Andrew urged to challenge settlement with Virginia Giuffre. Alan Dershowitz said it was a mistake not to take the case to trial. Now, this was another guy that was named in the Epstein scenario, Alan Dershowitz. But Alan Dershowitz is the one where Virginia seems to have backtracked. And because of her backtracking on Alan Dershowitz and not being sure now, obviously this makes the PR stunt now go to the level of Andrew's going to fight back now. And this is where he gets to clear his name. This is like a bad film. This is like a bad film. So this over here. New evidence shows Prince Andrew and Virginia Giuffre photo is real. Now, this was 10 hours ago. Let's have a look at this. New evidence shows Prince Andrew and Virginia Giuffre photo is real. They're not. They don't want to let you fucking. They don't want to let you see nothing, do they? Or do you have to get rid of this ad first? Here we go. Here we go.
Photographs in recent memory, and it has done Prince Andrew and the royal family extraordinary reputational harm. Let's hear what Ghislaine Maxwell has to say about it.
It's a fake. I don't believe that. I don't believe it's real. For
Look
a second.
at the drop shadow,
I'm
man.
sure it's not. There's never been an original. And further, there's no photograph. Right? And I've only ever seen a photocopy of it. I don't believe it happened. And certainly the way as described would have been impossible. I don't have any memory of going to tramp. Certainly not an outfit that I would have worn. Her stories have changed so many times about what happens, when it happens, how it happens, with different versions.
God dear. Prince Andrew's bid for return to public life after Jeffrey Epstein scandal is wishful thinking. Prince Andrew's awkward dig at Prince Harry ahead of Princess Eugenie's wedding. Bath time pictures won't save Prince Andrew. I mean, look, these lot are already taking a piss. Some book or something. Prince Andrew's role in palace coup to oust Queen's Closet ally over money. Yeah, a little bit more bad press to sort of go along with it, make it look like it's sort of overwhelming him. Evidence proves infamous Prince Andrew photo is not a fake. Right, let's go here. Right, here's your picture. Look at that drop shadow. Look how fucking bad that is. Right. New evidence has emerged that proves the infamous picture of Prince Andrew and teenage Virginia Giuffre is authentic. It has been reported, not confirmed. The disgraced Duke of York has questioned the validity of the photo, while jailed sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell has insisted it is a fake. And she could have said that in 2014, couldn't she? Yet details have now emerged proving that it would have been almost impossible to doctor. No, Photoshop was about at that time. The Mail on Sunday said it had seen proof of a date stamp on the back of the original image, proving it had been developed on the 13th of March 2001. That's the same year Jonathan King got done by Mazza Mahmood. This is just 3 days after Miss Giuffre was alleged to have been forced to have sex with the royal. So she's saying that that was going on in 2001. Jonathan King must have been part of that ring, which is probably why it comes back to Tom Watkins. It makes a lot of sense. 13th of March 2001, that's around the time Mazza Mahmood does Jonathan King. Jonathan King was very good friends with my ex-manager, Tom Watkins. There was further proof the original photo, which was taken on a Kodak disposable camera, was developed at a branch of the supermarket, Walgreens, located a 2-minute drive from where Miss Giuffre used to live. Timestamp on the back of the photo. So here's the thing. Look, she's holding up this picture. You should be holding up the original. And then another picture showing the back. This is probably what they're showing us the back of. This picture here. Probably this. Right. Why are they showing us the back? Show us the fucking front. The picture, thought to have been taken by paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, shows a smiling Andrew, then 41, with his arm around a teenage Miss Giuffre, then 17, and a smiling Maxwell standing behind them at the socialites' Belgravia home. Newly recovered camera data. Really? Proves Miss Giuffre showed the photo to professional photographer Michael Thomas. I wonder what they've got in line for this guy as his backstory so that they can fucking rubbish him in a bit because, you know, both stories can't be true here. Who captured 39 copies of both its front and back. Mr. Thomas himself has branded claims that the image was fake as ridiculous and absurd. Well, you could have came out a lot earlier, couldn't you, mate? Because this picture's been floating about since 2011. So why is it taking you from then till now to confirm it? You know, 3 months before the coronation. If that's not fucking hot, I don't know what is. Miss Giuffre is now 39, was previously called Roberts, has long claimed the picture was taken the night she was forced to have sex with Andrew following a night out at Tramp nightclub in London. So now you've just seen Ghislaine saying, I don't think I've ever been to Tramp, and she wouldn't have dressed like that. Andrew has already said he don't dress like that. That's like he's travelling clobber or something. So, you know, that's that part of the story, you know, where they're starting to knock it out. Could have done all this a long time ago. Andrew has repeatedly denied the allegations, insisting he had no recollection of the photo being taken while questioning the authenticity of the picture. Because they're not going to make Andrew look silly, they're going to make him look like, oh, you're so clever. Recently, Maxwell, who's serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking, also claimed the image was not genuine, saying it is a fake. I don't believe it's real for a second. In fact, I'm sure it's not. There has never been an original, and further, there is no photograph. So we're getting the conflicting stories now in the 2-3 month build-up. Let's see what else. They got for us. Photo showing man in Prince Andrew mask in Bath. No, that just looks ridiculous. The Telegraph attempts to clear Prince Andrew's name. Oh, it's wrong on this. Oh no, it's going to be that silly fucking photograph. Prince Andrew photo with Virginia Giuffre's real reports claim. Start your free trial. Picture said to have been printed at 1 Hour Photo Lab in Florida and virtually impossible to fake. Okay, with Photoshop being around at the time, and you just heard Lady Victoria Hervey say, you know, it was Photoshopped, and she's spoken to the geezer that's done it, which is going to be that, what's named Thomas geezer, isn't it? Evidence has emerged, blah, 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 but we won't let you look at it, because we're the fucking Telegraph. Yeah, what a load of crap. Prince Andrew breaks cover just hours ahead of airing Ghislaine Maxwell interview. Was spotted driving his Range Rover yesterday, hours before his former friend Ghislaine Maxwell spoke from behind bars. Ulrika Johnson says Prince Andrew is a narcissist and shared her experience meeting him at age 20. Oh, let's have a look. Ulrika Johnson says Prince Andrew is a narcissist and shared her experience meeting him at the age of 20. Ulrika Johnson blasted Prince Andrew and Ghislaine Maxwell for being narcissists during her editorial on The Sun, remembering the first time she met the royal family member at Windsor Castle when she was just 20 years old, a meeting that would leave her deeply uncomfortable. Is there a video here?
Skydiving, incredible dining and entertainment.
Let me just let this tick down. That's if I can add down. Says she's got something to say about it. Fucking hell, come on. Ulrika Johnson remembered that when she was 20, she met Prince Andrew at the Windsor Castle, and this is how she claims the interaction was. I met him, I was 20 at Windsor Castle. Fucking stop repeating that shit. He looked me up and down as if I was a heifer at a cattle market, or as if he was God himself. God himself, deeply uncomfortable. Johnson calls him someone with narcissistic behaviour due to him not having the capability of having empathy and accepting responsibility. Nah, it's just more, just chucking more shit on it, making it look good, isn't it? Prince Harry. No place for Harry, Meghan, or Prince Andrew on the balcony at King's coronation. Well, I bet you any money Harry's there. I bet you any money. He'd be there for the turnaround. Hervey. 5 days ago. Is that what we looked at already? Daily Express? Is that what we tried to look at? Is it this? Because there's a picture of this guy who she says she knows. The guy mentioned earlier, and he's holding the photograph. But, you know, he's going to be like, oh, this guy was done for fraud, and he's done this, and he's done that. You know, like what they've done to Chris Fay, the supporting character. So Andrew Ashe's supporting character was Chris Fay, and they ruined him by saying that he committed fraud. Remember? They'll probably do that with this photographer geezer.
The photo is real.
Oh,
what proof do you have that the photo is fake?
You think it's real?
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely,
Okay, I want to have a bet with you.
Well, what evidence do you have that this photo is fake? Because even Andrew didn't say it was fake when he appeared with Make This.
No, he said it's a photo of a photo of a photo, which actually it is that.
Yeah,
so
that doesn't make it fake.
No, of course.
Because this was before digital photos.
No,
Lady
but
P.
I'm going to tell you, so I want to clarify something because when I've been on TV other times, people always say it's Photoshop. So when I've spoken to the person that's actually taken the photos, he took the photos, he's explained it to me how he did it, and he actually showed it to me. The last time I was in London, I met up with this person. So he took the photos of the different, you know, Virginia, Epstein, and he cut them out with almost like a kind of a razor blade, and then put them back onto the background. It's amazing. Literally, he made it for me. It looked like a puzzle. And then he would re-photograph it exactly like we thought, and then it's been like re-photographed 3 times.
But have you researched the circumstances of how this photo actually came into the public domain? It was actually quite coincidental.
Yeah, and the FBI,
was a journalist.
I don't think, ever even had it.
No, but that's the point.
That's this whole mystery of the FBI.
Well, indeed, but the point is, Virginia Giuffre would have had to be a genius to coincidentally have this fake photo.
So she... But the thing is, so she didn't make it.
Well, there you go, people. There you go. That is what that's what they're coming with. Get rid of that. Yeah, that's what they're coming with. So now Lady Victoria Harvey says she has spoken to this Michael Thomas or whatever his name is, and that now she's talking about that this guy's actually showed her how he's cut him out with a razor blade. But on the other interview, she's talking about Photoshop being involved. But there's no mention of Photoshop in that explanation. So what is it? She's met up with the guy. I mean, couldn't you have met up with this guy years ago and confirm this? This is why it's all... it's just all so ridiculous. It really is. So, yeah, that's it. That's it for now. That's all I got. I just thought I'd come back on because, you know, as I see these things, I just want to bring them up, mention them, document it, and, you know, leave it up there, and then we can sit back and watch it all happen, because that's what's happening. Anyway, take care, people. See you soon.
Oi, nuns. You better leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. You better leave them kids alone.
Andrew,
nuns.
Eat the bacon.
You better leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. You better leave them kids alone. Nuns. You better leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. You better leave them kids alone.
Eat the bacon.
Nuns. You better leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. You better leave them kids alone.
2023, welcome to the saga. My lager.
I know you heard about that shit was rank. Can't catch man rocking Balenciaga. Nice right in our face, they hiding it.
Sniffing little kids' hair, that's a Joe Biden team.
No one that was there ever
said shit.
I would've got locked attempting to pie him in.
I can't sit back and watch that cinema. Really, bruh,
that make my heart get chillier. No one ain't saying shit's getting sillier. Why the fuck they trying to normalise pedophilia?
Catch a nuts ran away and I'm clapping him.
Tapping him. Don't like this shit that's happening.
Fuck the government, bitch, I ain't backing it.
Death to all of them pricks child trafficking.
Epstein trafficker. 2 kids and a prince as a passenger. Lolita Express to the massacre.
Abuse on a plane with a lady Ghislaine.
What's the matter, bruh? We're going deep in the ocean like Terramar.
Drag Kid Desmond?
Yeah, that's the era now. 1990s, weren't like this.
Got man trying to twerk like
children paid for in cabinets from Wayfair.
Not right now, you're gonna find that in Mayfair. Social services act like they pay fair. Look who they're hiring in little kids daycare.
They're moving malevolent.
Be careful next time when you make a wish. Help the children you never did. Keep your foundation of empty
fucking nuns.
Nuns. You better leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. You better leave them kids alone. Nuns. You better leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. You better leave them kids alone. Nuns. You better leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. You better leave them kids alone. Nuns. You better leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. You better leave them kids alone.
I went for the secret door, guess who? I state bare facts, it's not a dead tune. I looked in the face of Ghislaine Maxwell.
Should have been Prince Andrew in the river. Try fuck with me and I'll expose it.
She don't speak true, Daniela knows this.
Fuck your symbols, cunts and your checkerboard.
And you can jump off a cliff for your poses.
No man, I'm a chick. Don't give a fuck, you was born with a dick.
We can't say that, it's transphobic. I fucking say what I like, you gonna suck public stick, you cunt.
You made it legal to give kids a sex change.
You can't stop us. Oh yes we can.
He's a nuns. Fucking nuns. Bacon nuns. He's a bacon. He's a nuns. Fucking nuns. Bacon nuns. He's a bacon.
These man's lives should be actually void. It's a rap, G. Aaron Carter just died.
He's a bro, yeah, you know Nick from Backstreet Boys.
Was abused by the manager who made him his toy.
Lou Pearlman, that was the manager. They're usually the ones that's raw that will abuse their power, so watch cause they'll damage ya.
Towoki, that's it, scavenger. Did you pay Andrew Cash? You know what I'm talking about, Andrew Ash.
I don't feel what you man do. If it's up to me, you get burnt like a candle. Murdoch is still beef, I'm not backing.
Oh, piece of shit needs whacking. What about the telephone hacking? Fuck the bank, cause they all took drugs. Like, come on, got the sacking. Same people that hacked me, hacked Millie Dollar. News of the world, move Fowler.
You know, come like Brown or Kellaway. Can you move from me, please get the hell away?
How come Millie got supplied to the Ellie?
Levi both were connected to police. You ain't know about the murder. Got nicked 8 years later, this shit's hard to believe. Let's talk about Virginia Dufresne, she's no different to Andrew, that bitch is a fake.
The picture they took with the both of them had you fooled, but I clocked it from day.
Got man cross, but you're going to hell still. Don't believe that bitch got paid 12 mil.
And it's fire for all of you nonces. Pussy hoes need to know how a jail feels.
Nuns. You better leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. You better leave them kids alone. Nuns. You better leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. You better leave them kids alone. Oi, nonce. You better leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. You better leave them kids alone. Oi, nonce. You better leave them kids alone. Leave them kids alone. You better leave them kids alone.
Put on my child skin shoes and I boarded the plane. Touchdown in a land where the skies are blue, in the middle of little St. James. Everybody was happy, try to make someone go down on me. Yeah, I got a first class ticket, and I got it from Jeffrey Epstein. They were trafficking victims, drinking all the blood from kids they steal. They were walking on dead kids, adrenochrome cocktails after the meal.
Bacon. He's a nonce, fucking nonce, bacon nonce. He's a bacon. He's a nonce, fucking nonce, bacon nonce. He's a bacon.